Hello, everyone. Welcome to another old Drop Frames show. We're getting close to 300, but I don't think we've hit the 290s. We're like mid 280s. I looked at it this morning, but I forgot the number. So that would put us maybe the Game of the Year show might actually be episode 300 if we time it right. We're gonna have to take some time off, boys. It's gonna be hard, you know, if we really want to get there.
Oh, what?
No.
Mom.
No. Strippin, welcome to the show.
What's up?
Not much. How long? What? Okay, let's. Andrew WK, what's going on here? What? The hair? Are you just letting it go? Are you just growing it out?
Dude, first, COVID came.
Uh-huh.
I said I will not go outside.
Uh-huh.
And now it's just too hot to go outside, so this continues.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fix it.
What are we, what's the temps over there right now? I know it's been bad in the UK.
I don't like to say, because then you get the whole...
Sure. Yeah.
English people are pussies. It's not even hot.
Sure.
It's not. It's 90.
It's
but
true.
we don't have aircon. We don't have aircon inside or outside, so it's 90 everywhere.
Right.
In the United States, it's air conditioning, by the way.
Yes. Yes. To translate for Strippin things. Yeah.
Cheers, Governor.
I've heard a handful of Elu is from the UK. He was saying it was like 86 in his office last night at midnight. So
Yeah.
it's definitely not fun.
I work nights, so I sleep when the sun is at its peak
that's the worst.
well.
Yeah.
I'm sleeping just hella sway.
Yeah.
It's real sway.
So,
It's a sway.
is
Bad
there-
times.
Is there a reason you don't have aircon? Is it illegal or is it like what's the deal?
It's just not used.
It's cold 95% of the year. It's just not. It's not cost effective to do it. I have a portable one in my office, but
It's just like
That's what I'm saying.
California.
Like you got like a window one or a floor unit or something, right? Like
I got like a little floor unit. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
It's just like California, though. Like they just don't. There's no need for it in a lot of time.
Yeah, I remember when I lived in California, they sold me the house, and they were like, "You don't need aircon. There's a sea breeze." I was like an hour from the fucking beach, man. There was no sea breeze.
They got you there. They were like,
Yeah,
this guy's
big
a
time.
sucker. He has
Big
no
time.
idea.
Fucking little tiki roofs in the garden. Like I thought it was gonna be a good time.
Dude, I mean, pardon me, but fuck that bullshit because like I live in Montana and I had my air conditioning going at least 7 months out of the year. Like
Yeah.
seriously, it's
Yeah.
I like my shit like 65 max. Like that's where I live. That's where I want to be all the time.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I was half expecting Zeke to be like, I live in Montana, and they sold me on the sea breeze. And then when
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
Oh man. Yeah. Growing up
get that breeze rolling in off the ocean from Washington State.
Right.
refracts off the
1,000 miles away.
mountains and then curves
Yeah.
over.
Picks up speed as it goes down the mountain.
Yeah.
That's how it works. Yeah, that picks up speed.
Yep.
Exactly. That's how it works. Yeah, living in Texas my entire life, obviously having AC here or there, and now in St. Louis as well. When we went to Sacriel's wedding in the UK, we stayed at the. It was like a very small, like boutique hotel, but we were at the very top, so like the roof was literally like this. We were at the top of the hotel, no AC. Woke up at like 6 a.m. Just the absolute worst. It was like 80 degrees in there. I don't understand. Savage. You guys got to get AC. It's bad. It's bad.
I don't know why it's a thing, man.
Yeah. You should start an aircon company, Strippin. That's what you should
I mean,
do.
there's like 10 years in a row where all the English people just complain about the hot summer, and I'm like, we could have fixed this problem a long time ago, man.
Yeah.
But English people love to complain, so you know why take it away from them?
That's true. That's true.
The funny thing is, like, over all of our like streamers collective carbon footprint is relatively low because we don't fucking like drive or go anywhere. Like,
Right.
you know, working from home, we don't like put out any emissions or anything. So
We cranked the AC though.
I feel
we're
like there's
helping.
a
That's what I'm saying.
joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, I think there is. There's probably. a
Yeah,
part
okay.
to it. Yeah.
It's in there somewhere.
No, well, I was gonna say like, yeah, it's in the cushions of my seat, but I have a mesh seat now, so they don't get trapped anymore.
Ah.
The whole reason, one of the reasons why I got this mesh seat HM chair because, man, swampness, real
True.
problem.
It's a real problem. It's a real problem.
Yes, it's true.
Let's jump into the news
Speaking
here.
of farts, how
Oh,
you
okay.
feeling?
What?
I am. We're getting there. We're getting there. I actually slept through last night, so that's an improvement. Yeah.
Good.
That's good. That's good. That's always good.
Just ulcers or
I have no idea. I've been told by Dr. Twitch Chat that I probably have developed a GERD, whatever that is, which is a lot of fun. So I have a terrible diet.
Good,
yeah. And basically I woke up a couple nights ago at like way wee hours of the morning, just coughing stomach acid. Like everything was burning and on fire. And
that's not good.
Yeah.
That's
like
fun.
having trouble breathing and stuff. It was great. So yeah, definitely need to do some diet changes. It turns out eating that whole pizza that night was probably not the best idea.
I've had 4 this week, man. I
talked about that on my stream, man. I said, like, if I know I'm going to pay these days, like in the past, like 3 or 4 years, if I have pepperoni pizza, it's like you got to make a bargain with tomorrow you. Be like, all right, tomorrow me. I'm sorry for this, you know, because it used to not bother me at all, but now it's like I feel like I got like, you know, hot throw up like right here, all like hours the next day.
I think frankly I've out bargained tomorrow me, and I think it's basically had enough of my shit. So I think it's just done. It's like, yeah, keep trying that, and I'm gonna keep sending you to the freaking hospital, and we'll see how this works out for you past me. So yeah, I think it's time. Thankfully, I've got that workout challenge coming up, so it's a good time to gotta work on the fried foods and the greasy foods and the carbonated beverages and all that stuff.
Here's the fun thing about going into a workout, Cohh, which I hope you don't discover, that I've discovered though. When you change your diet that much, it's a whole new set of problems because your body's like, what the fuck are you giving me? Like, what the hell? What is this? I haven't had this for 10 years. I don't know what to do with that. So yeah, it's, you know, it's just different problems.
My strategy is, I eat junk food, and then the next day, so that tomorrow me doesn't suffer, I eat junk food again, and I just keep the train going.
That's where I'm at. Yeah.
And there's a me in the very distant future that will be in like big shit.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm just like chaining it. Yeah, I had KFC today. I'm just going to keep going.
Well, luckily life finds a way for me, and I just get food poisoning every couple of years, and that just cleans out my whole system, and then I'm good to go. I think that's how
I'm like, I end up in the hospital every couple of years, and then
well, that's true. You do. You end up more in the hospital than any other streamer right now. That's also real.
What do you mean? What you talking about? I've been like twice
in the past like month.
No, look, the trick is to ignore all your medical problems until you get hospitalized. That's the only time you have to go.
The whole thing about English people complaining, not true. What you just said is what English people are right there.
It's a hassle.
It's free.
Man.
It's free. Go to the doctor. It's free.
When it's free, everyone goes for every little problem, and then you got to wait around for like 5 fucking hours, man. It's not worth.
Oh my god.
If I'm really sick, they're like, get him in, give him a bed, and I'm like, it's time. Fix me.
Fix me.
Yeah. At least
that part, however, is not that different from the States. Like as far as going to a clinic, and
it's true.
You know, if it's not serious, you wait a while.
Even if it is serious, they're like, you're not gonna die. We're gonna take some of these other people first.
Yeah. They run down the checklist of 2 things, like missing a limb, chest pains, no, sit down.
Yep.
You're not going anywhere for a while.
That's very true. That's very true. Anyways, now that we've completely scared off all of our medically phobia folk, let's continue with the news. Let's continue. It will be a little bit, I don't know what's going on with my voice. I think I screamed too much yesterday off stream at Guilty Gear. I think that's what's happening. It will be a little bit shorter of a show, probably about 2 hours or so. I know Cohh's got some stuff he's got to attend to.
I got to punch out a little early.
The thing is, like me, Zeke, and Cohh, we haven't really played much else apart from what we were playing last week. So we'll run through the indies. We got Strippin here, luckily, to save us from the not playing other games thing, because he's been checking out some Monster Hunter, and we'll get to that. But first, we got to get to the news. Specifically, there's some Twitch news in regards to the old DMCA stuff. They posted a bunch of things. They also did a thing. They did another Let's Chat yesterday. And for what it's worth, I think Zach Busey was the one that covered it well. And so I'm going to kind of use his tweets as a guide to just talk about the different highlights from this stuff. some of his tweets are new information that I think needs to get out there a little bit more. One of them is that on this Let's Chat with DJ Wheat and Jeremy Forrester, who's the head of creator products. He has a couple of clips. I can show them if you guys want, but Busey basically says, important for streamers to know that unpublished content does not protect you from copyright strikes. So while unpublishing content is a cool feature, it offers little protection if you stream copyrighted content. There's been some questions as to whether you can get strikes for content you've already deleted. Twitch has a definitive answer. No, you will not get a strike for any content you have deleted on your channel. So that's new, because I think when like all this DMCA stuff started, people were finding that the content that you delete necessarily wasn't deleted, kind of on the back end. I think Twitch has like stopped that. Like you can no longer access that content anymore. So deleting it does protect you if you were at all worried about that.
To me.
Which is great.
Yeah.
It definitely happened to me back in the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Where it got past that type of stuff. So that's good stuff. What else is there? There's also this idea that like DMCA strikes are, here it is. Is there a specific time frame that strikes will expire on a channel? There's nothing specific at this time, but they will expire. So over time now, one of the biggest issues with DMCA strikes is that they would just always be present. So if you had a strike, you had 2 more and your channel is gone. Now it seems like there's some sense of expiration on them. Twitch obviously didn't say like what that was, but thank God. Because building that stuff, streaming for as long as we have, and I'm sure a lot of other people will continue to stream, 3 is not that much. So very good stuff coming out of that. And they also sent out a partner email. Did you guys get that email, by the way, yesterday about DMCA guideline stuff? Yep. Okay. Mm-hmm. Did it like, because I did not listen and went to my spam folder. Did it actually break stuff out into like readable format, or was it just all legal speak? If you guys have that email.
Most of them are relatively in terms we can understand.
Okay.
Let me see. Here, guidelines and better tools. The DMCA update. No, it's definitely broken down in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
Here's
good.
A quick look at our roadmap for the rest of the year. New filtering options for clips that allow you to sort and delete clips by date, game, and view count. Review the VODs identified in DMCA notifications in your creator dashboard. Easily submit a counter notification directly from your creator dashboard.
And that's live or that's coming live? Or
here's a quick look at what's on our roadmap,
roadmap.
for the rest,
Okay.
of the rest of the year.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Soon.
And on the blog, it has like the prospective dates that these are, or like quarters that these are going to go into effect. Like Q1, Q2, January, June, Q3, Q4, July, December, all that stuff.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
I finally found what so there's a thing called a repeat infringer now. 3 strikes.
And it's not Zeke, surprisingly enough.
There's 3 strikes officially constitute a repeat infringer. Strikes are not permanent, but they're kept on the account until they determine that you are not a repeat infringer. So they've changed a lot of this stuff. In fact, Zach goes on to say that they entirely rewrote their DMCA guidelines page. So at least there's work being done on that front, kind of behind the scenes, and now we're starting to see a little bit of it. I guess if you want more information, definitely go check out the Let's Chat from yesterday. The title of it, or the subject matter, was updates from the DMCA product team on that, with once again with DJ Wheat and Jeremy Forrester, who's the head of creative products at Twitch. Or you can just also follow Zach Busey on Twitter, as he seems to be on top of that stuff. So
also good on Twitch for bringing back that show.
Yeah,
I hope that becomes like a regular thing, because it's good. Yeah, it's very good for them to have that kind of connection.
I agree.
I was trying to look up the Zach Busey's Twitter account. What is it? What's it at?
I think it's just Zach Bussey. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's an EY, not just a Y at the end. Yeah. Yeah, he's on top of that stuff though. Very knowledgeable about it. Moving along to normal video game stuff. I guess there's also the idea that Twitch put in 10-year sub badges now. Are they live, or are they coming soon? I forget what that.
I have no idea. I still don't have my follower emote, so I think they're
Oh yeah,
rolling a whole bunch of stuff out, and I don't know.
I
who
don't
has
have my
what.
follower one either.
yeah. That's in like beta till August or something, right? I
Oh, is it?
I think that's what it was. Yeah, something like that. And then the 10-year sub badges are, I think, live. There's a very small amount of streamers that actually have 10-year subs as well. I think we have.
There's like a handful of them. If you look on longest subs on Twitch,
Yep, you're number 5,
you
by
can
the way.
see like, yeah.
Yep, you're number 5 to
I'm
man versus game.
1 month away
Yep.
from 10.
I think. And what's your? Is it 118? 117? Oh, okay. So okay, gotcha. Yeah, we have 107 on the channel, and we're number 125, which is that's how many other people there are with longer subs. There's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot of folk out there. So that's cool. I'm glad that they're continuing to stretch.
Who's the top
stuff out. I think it's
Day9?
Deshaun. Yeah, I think it's the Day 9. Well,
Yeah,
Day
Day9.
9 and Man, I think are. Here, I'll just pull it up.
Yeah.
I think it's Day 9 and Man are like tied. Day 9, Man, Tally, and Dan's Game, I think, are all the top.
Wow.
Let's see.
Damn.
Yeah, so it's 123 months to Day 9 TV for 2 of his subs, 122 for 1. Then there's 121. So Day 9 has the top 5. Oh, Zeke, you're 9 now. Sorry, not 5.
Yeah.
You're sub for 119 to Man. And then it's like Day 9, Tally, Man vs. Game, Dan's Gaming, and then that kind of just goes all the way till Buana's got 33 with 115. Definitely a very old school name.
Honest, good people.
Yeah. Yogscast with 114. Kraken with 114 at 40.
Buana, by the way, the savior of the first round of Final Fantasy 14 ARR on Twitch.
It's true. Yeah.
Buana was working for
remember
Twitch
that.
at the time, and he was the guy that basically interfaced like getting the approval for everyone to be able to stream the game.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that.
That's right. Root Cats. There's a couple StarCraft names in there. Root Cats and Orb both have some long months. Maximus Black as well. Another StarCraft name. Scar is in there. So I'm looking at Twitch. For those curious, I'm looking at twitchstats.net. And then you go to the top subs and then go to longest sub. This website's also not 100% accurate. There's people missing from it as well. But I think the top like 5 or top 20 are definitely accurate. So it's cool stuff. Let's move on to some actual video game news. The Steam Deck, not the Stream Deck, which is the Elgato hardware.
Oh my god, dude!
Deck.
The Steam Deck came out the day after that Elgato did.
It was the
its
day
big
of.
thing announcing its Stream Deck upgrade.
Yeah.
So, oh my lord, that was rough.
Yeah,
That was rough.
it was. Elgato announced a lot of products in that thing. We can talk about that if you guys want. But the Steam Deck's live. It's basically like a super powered Switch in a lot of ways that doesn't play Nintendo games. I don't think this is necessarily for any of us though on the show in terms of like who this product is created for. So I don't know how much we'll have to say on it. Did anyone pre-order
I certainly did not pre-order it at all.
I didn't either.
Immediately when I heard the
I
word.
pre-ordered it in a second.
Really?
I was like, "Are you telling me I can fish in Final Fantasy 14 when I'm watching my kids?"
It's true. It's true. You can.
I had the same energy.
$5 for a pre-order.
So this is a dad gift, you think?
I think it's a dad gift. I think it's a traveler's gift. So like a commuter,
yeah.
if you take like a bus or if you're in like, if you Uber and stuff like that, like being able to just bring like an actual PC along with you. It's going to be even cooler if Valve is doing what I really hope they're doing and working with a lot of their devs to come up with like interfaces that really work with the little screen. Because I will say in some of the preview material, there's no question that the UIs were not designed for a screen that small. Like
Right.
you can't even barely see some of the UI elements because they're so tiny. So if they actually really push this and make it so like, hey, this is the category of Steam games that works super well with the Steam Deck, and like those games are designed to play on it, that could be really, really cool. That could be pretty fun.
Yeah. I know IGN's put out a lot of different footage and interviews with it. They've probably put out the most stuff. I'll see if I can find a video of someone actually holding it so you can see how big it is. It's a big boy. It reminds me of
It's gonna be loud.
Yeah, it reminds me of how old I am, because it reminds me of a Game Gear. To date myself a little bit, it's like a big fucking Game Gear type. It hopefully doesn't take
Like,
8 batteries.
3 times heavier than a Switch. So
Yeah.
it's heavy thing.
Yeah, I think it'll be heavy. I'm worried about the heat, right? Like that's a pretty big, beefy machine.
And if it has the dental fans, those really high pitch of, when it gets hot and it's like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, not good. We'll see.
Yeah. We will see indeed. When did it give you a like timeline?
There's no fans.
There's definitely there's vents on it, but there's no fans.
I didn't have it. Somebody say there's no. Maybe that's Twitch chat. So
did we get one guy?
2 fans.
We might have got one guy.
Okay, we may have just gotten one guide. Yeah, I don't know. 2 guide.
Let's see here. I think this is the video that.
Wait, OnlyFans? That's a completely different thing.
It's a completely different thing. Yeah. Here's a Valve employee. I think he's one of the designers of it, or coders of it, talking and holding it, so you can kind of see how big it is.
Holy crap!
It's big.
That's a big boy.
Yeah.
That means the screen is hopefully pretty big at least, so that's good.
Yeah. 720.
I wonder if it has Joy-Con drift.
Did you see the news update on the Joy-Con drift, by the way? Because that was pretty funny. The fix is apparently some cardboard. I'm not like, that's not the official fix, but if you take the Joy-Con apart and you put a very thin piece of cardboard above the, there's something that like there's space in between it, and that's what causes the drift. And so you put a tiny piece of cardboard inside of it. It voids your warranty, so be careful if you do this. But if you do that, it fixes all the drift. That's all Nintendo has to do, apparently.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. But it will void your warranty, which was,
Could just
I don't know about that.
right.
Now to sell those tiny little pieces of cardboard
and then making
$20
Nintendo logo on it, $20, $19.99.
Nintendo already in the cardboard game, man. They got Labo out there.
They got Labo. Why don't they just fucking fix it themselves?
Yeah.
Because that's money, Strippin. Sweet, delicious
no shortage
money.
of cardboard.
That's true. So yeah,
And even making beds out of cardboard for the Olympics. They love that shit.
it's true. I saw those as well. Very comfortable. A lot of people. Well, we'll get it. That's maybe not for this show. That whole thing's ridiculous. What about like in terms of, we were talking about, Cohh, you mentioned this is for like dads and people that travel. The idea of this being docked, could people just use this for like a PC, or do you not think it's there? Like what?
It really depends. Like, how's the performance at higher resolutions? How is it going to run long term? There are many unknowns with that. But I mean, it could be the idea that you would buy this like you would a Switch console and not for like a handheld PC is an interesting idea. But I would not know. I would have to see it.
Yeah. I mean, there's someone using it right there. I don't think that's with Windows installed either. I think that's just with like the modified Steam OS.
Isn't it Linux?
Yeah. It's a Linux-based program, but you can also install Windows.
You can put like
on
emulators and stuff on there,
right,
and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you can just dual boot like Windows. So that's how you can get things like. Or I guess Steam could just run Final Fantasy through Steam, right? You don't have to install the like launcher for it.
Are all Steam games available on it, or is it a curated library?
I think it's all Steam games. I didn't see anything saying otherwise. Chat will let us know here in just a sec if I'm wrong or right about that. But yeah, I think it's just everything.
Not all. Oh wow, chat is saying literally everything. Yeah.
Okay.
All Steam OS games, not all. Yes, no, yes. Okay, all. Most of it.
If you could stream off of it.
I don't know.
Doubtful.
I mean, you need a beefy CPU, right? Like that's the bottleneck when it comes to streaming. It could probably be like I wonder if you'll see people use it for the like IRL bags. I don't know that much about the IRL bags, but I think that's just like a laptop, in a backpack essentially. So I'm wondering if you could use this instead. I don't know how you would put a capture card on that though. I don't know. I guess it has a USB, so you could just use like a USB 3 device on it or something.
Yeah.
It'd be a little bit weird.
USB 3.
Yeah. It'd be a little weird, but that thing's live. It what was the price on it? Baseline is $400 for a 64 gig non NVMe drive. $529 for the 256, and then $649 for the 512 gigabyte NVMe drive. What is eMMC? I don't even know what that means. Is that just like a semi-fast hard drive?
No
idea.
The theory of relativity?
I think so.
Oh, SD card.
Oh, okay. Embedded multimedia, card.
I have been told though. Initially, they said 2022 Q1, but depending on when you reserved yours, if you check, apparently a lot of people have been seeing that they might be getting them in December.
Yeah, that's
So
the initial launch
an
date.
early wave.
Yeah.
But I got.
Where do you check that?
On the page where you reserved, underneath the one you reserved, it should say expected date. I got shafted. Mine's Q2 2022, so I'll be getting mine after everybody else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me
If
too.
you're lucky,
Mine's
you
Q2.
might get it in December.
Did you guys try right when it launched, or was it an after the fact thing? Okay.
After next day, actually, I saw someone on Twitter, like as I was getting it for my morning stream, be like, "Hey, just snagged my Steam thing," and I was like, "Oh, cool." Because when I went to check the first time, they were gone.
I was like an hour late.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I wonder what the amount of units was like the cutoff for December. We'll never know unless they put that info out there. What else do we got going on? Skull and Bones.
I was trying to find I was looking through all their website stuff. I'm not just sitting here silently not doing anything, just in case the audience wants to know. I was looking through the Steam thing to see if they say anything about the Steam library, like limiting or being limited on to what you can play on this device, but
didn't find anything.
I don't see anything. It's just, your Steam library anywhere.
I think it. I think what they'll run into is what Cohh was saying. If the UI is not made for a screen that small, like playing Final Fantasy on that is probably gonna be a nightmare. With how small that UI, how granular some of that.
That's what
UI.
I'm saying.
Yeah,
you would have to basically work with the company most likely to come up with some ways to get around that. Special Steam versions for the console.
Yeah. Although
if you were in a hotel, you could plug it into the TV or something as an output.
Right.
It's true.
Yeah, if you had the dock. Do you even need the dock though to connect to it? You probably don't know the answer to that. I think you have to have the dock for it to actually connect to something. But Final Fantasy 14, you could probably use the gamepad mode instead of the keyboard mode. It should work just fine in terms of seeing that. You're not gonna be able to read chat though. That'll probably be the issue. A USB-C hub is fine. Okay. USB-C to HDMI adapter is all you need. So you don't need the dock. That's cool.
Pull up chat on your phone.
Yeah.
You guys don't play your video games like this? That's how I play my handhelds. The UI is fine if you hold it up.
It's right on your face.
It's way big enough. It's too big.
Ah.
It's too big. You want to shrink that UI down? Oh, absolutely. I can still see it. Make it smaller.
Yeah. Skull and Bones. Kotaku put out a huge article talking about the 8-year development nightmare, as they call it in the article, which has now entered alpha. The game is now entering into a new
better
state.
be damn good.
Yeah. The article is pretty. It's very in depth. It does not. It's one of those things where I think if you read the article and you come out of it thinking oh, this game's going to go off without a hitch, you're you've got blinders on. There's no way that game comes out and does not have some sort of issue with it. But we will see. There's a lot of stuff within that Kotaku article. But the biggest takeaway from it was that the game has entered via a statement out of Ubisoft, a passing alpha since their last update. So they're also excited to share more details when the time is right. Definitely go check out that article though, if you want kind of a peek behind the veil of game development, because there's a lot going on. They have a lot of ex-developers coming in and talking about all the issues that plagued it. They talk about like Ubisoft Singapore, which was developing it at one point, and the idea that the government was upset because if they like cancel the game, then that means lost jobs. And so like it gets real crazy. Yeah. With that whole thing. So, did you guys see the story about the warehouse in Ukraine packed with PS4s?
The PS4 one? Yeah.
Yeah. This was a crazy article, that Eurogamer.net put out. There is a warehouse in Ukraine packed with literally thousands of PS4s. I can show you an image of it. And the PS4s. It was a police raid. Yeah. So it got raided. And the way that they got raided the way they got caught was even more ridiculous. But it was a FIFA Ultimate Team bot farm. They were farming FIFA Ultimate Team and then selling that currency on the like black market. Essentially, there was basically a gold seller operation. And the way that
I thought you were going to say Bitcoin. I was fully convinced this was a Bitcoin story.
No, I think that's what the feds thought it was Bitcoins. But the way that they got caught was they were in an abandoned warehouse and they weren't paying for their power. And so the power bill skyrocketed coming out of this place. And that's why they got caught. It's because they were pulling so much power. It was 3,800 game consoles in this thing.
It's kind of crazy. Like this story is really common of like abandoned factories pulling power, and they don't seem to catch them for a good couple months minimum. Like they get the whole
that's
operation
clean. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, I agree, Strippin. It's an incredible setup. They know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to this setup.
How were they doing it? Like
it was AI. It was run by a PC. So a PC was running all of these PS4s through. They detail it in there. So it was PS4 Slims, all controlled by PCs, running bots. They were farming Ultimate Team for profit. In the game, there's a coin called a FUT coin or something, FUT coin. And you can spend real world money on the loot boxes in hope of obtaining the high value cards, or you can play the game for months on end to save up that currency to buy these coins. Or you can buy coins on the black market. 40,000 FUT coins would cost you a couple of quid. Sam, can you translate that? And is that just a couple of dollars? Is that what that means?
$5.
$5. Okay. To put it into context, Lionel Messi's 99 rated Summer Stars card currently costs around 1.5 million FUT coins on the PlayStation auction house. And so they were just farming that. They also said they found 500 video cards, 50 processors, draft documentation on the electricity consumption accounting, as well as notebooks, phones, and flash drives in the warehouse. Just an insane story, though, that was what was being farmed instead of cryptocurrency. So I think if you played WoW back in the day, though, this was not that surprising, right? Because like China's been doing this for decades at this point. So little wild story. That's on Eurogamer.net if you want to read it. Then the other semi-big story is that Netflix has, not in an official capacity, but out of a report, they're going to start doing video games at no added cost.
Mostly mobile.
In the next year. Yeah. Oh, was that the granular? Was that it's mostly mobile
That's
stuff?
what I heard. Yep.
It says Netflix is
That's going to be the focus, I think.
Netflix is expected to expand into video games on its service at no extra cost within the next year, widening from its bedrock business of TV shows and movies as the world's biggest subscription video service. According to a report by Bloomberg, it would move Netflix into major entertainment segment, game it, blah, blah, blah. And then it also confirmed last Wednesday that it had hired Oculus, Electronic Arts, and Zynga executive Mike Verdu as a vice president of games development. So that's their end. I think that's maybe why you said it was mobile, because it was a Zynga executive. So makes sense, I suppose. But yeah,
big market.
I guess they got tired of saying it's the Netflix of video games, and now they're just gonna actually make their own Netflix of video games.
No, we're the Netflix of video games, says Netflix. Dang it.
Yeah, I guess, I suppose. I think that's it for big news. Anything that you guys heard about the past week you want to float into the news section?
Oh,
Really?
No, it's just hot. The hot goss with that chair company that posted that fucking dumb tweet.
Oh yeah,
and then just got fucking slapped.
Yeah, that was.
I mean,
I don't know who.
Like,
how do they put in charge of this shit?
I know.
I would
like
do a better job.
How you would think that's okay in any type of PR position is just, it's mind blowing.
Yeah,
it's absolutely mind blowing.
Yeah. To expand on the story, there was a popular chair manufacturer by the name of Vertigear. Well, I say popular. I don't like. Do they do a lot of business? Is it just like one of those?
They're a dime a dozen these days for those chairs, man.
I mean, they're all out of the same Chinese manufacturer at the end of the day.
I mean, this is the thing that put that name in my brain.
Yeah, I guess that's true. They had some terrible tweets come out, and then issued an apology that was, kind of your like token brand apology on Twitter, and then they just got absolutely massacred because people went back and just found more tweets that celebrated how great a job that social media manager had done.
I know a few guys used to do this for a living, and essentially they just grab a young person that they think knows what's hip, and it's a pretty low-paid job to run that Twitter account. So it's literally just.
Do you play video games? Great. Here's our Twitter.
Yeah.
As long as the numbers go up, you're good. Post whatever you want.
Yeah.
They're behaving on Twitter as if it's Reddit. Like, you can't do that. You can't behave on Twitter as if it's Reddit, because on Reddit you say, the word retard about, stock, people who buy stocks and stuff like that. It's a meme that goes around.
Right.
With that, then they post it on Twitter. It's like, haha, funny, right? They're like, not here, bro. That's not where you do this.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, it's just, it's common sense, man. Like, I have that much common sense, and I don't have that much.
It wasn't good. A little bit of news today, but what were we gonna say?
The just one last funny thing.
Okay.
About the Kotaku review calling it's like, the game's shit. Like,
the XCOM game.
That was funny as fuck, dude.
And what aspect? The fact that like it became a huge story, or the fact that was just the article title?
All of it. Just the fact that they were like, yeah, that looks like a good headline. Go ahead.
They've had a lot of like really aggressive headlines the past like month or so.
I think they're losing their traffic, so they need to do something. This is their last ditch effort.
Yeah,
I heard a lot of the good writers have left in the last few months as well.
Well, they also just got like a new editor in chief as well. So for that to like come out under their watch is not a great start off of that. But it was, without a doubt, it was like 101% of a clickbait headline right out of the gate. Which, take it or leave it in terms of if you're for or against it. But there's one way to look at it and say, like, I don't need to read the article. It's shit. Next thing, let's move on, right? So it's kind of even bad clickbait in that sense, where it tells you everything you need to know just from the tweet alone. So that whole thing happened. That was like Monday or Tuesday. That was all over Twitter.
That being said, also too bad for XCOM.
Yeah.
Like, that game, even though the article and everything was kind of hilarious, that game sounds pretty terrible.
It did. It didn't sound great.
Complete IP farming kind of trash mobile game.
It's an IP farm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just doesn't honor the game at all.
Yeah.
Really too bad.
Doesn't sound great. The other bit of news that was kind of circling this morning, I think it's somewhat of a developing story, so we won't necessarily say anything is set in stone. Amazon launched, if you've been on Twitch, this is all not news to you. Amazon launched New World yesterday, as 99% of the streamers are playing it currently. And it's bricking 3090s because of an uncapped FPS. What I read is most likely it was in the launch menu. And it was just skyrocketing 3090s to unseen heights. And a couple of streamers and a couple of customers have also said that their 3090 is just absolutely fried.
Yeah. It's an uncapped FPS issue affecting primarily EVGA cards.
Yep.
So, and somebody in my chat earlier said that it was also affecting gigabytes, but that was a one guy unconfirmed report, so not sure. But it looks like it has to do with an uncapped FPS in the menu that can be fixed if you restrict it to 60. But I mean, even then, like if you have a coveted 3090, I mean, up to you if you want to risk that, I guess. But
Right.
thankfully, EVGA is a great company to have something go wrong with your card. I don't know if they've confirmed it, but I'm pretty certain EVGA will address that issue and get out replacements and stuff. But
yeah, menus are going to like 9,000 plus FPS or something.
Jeez.
Just melting your card.
Is it just 3090s that are doing it, or is it like the 3080s as well?
3080s and 3090s, but specifically like EVGA stuff, I think.
Yeah, I think it's primarily 3090s.
Okay.
At least cool. Destiny streamer Glad, who was streaming it, was one. I saw a handful of other streamers as well that all had 3090s that they said was just straight done. There is a forum post on forum.newworld.com. And I think they have some customer service reps in there kind of talking about, saying exactly what Cohh said, where you need to cap your FPS to 60 in order to fix that. So not good. They also locked okay. So they locked the customer game support thread. And at the end, Ironsmith Albert, who is a member of the customer support for the game, says, "Hi folks, thank you all for sharing your reports on this problem. We're tracking this issue down. And now in the following thread, there's possible solutions shared already, so please refer to this case in case you need more assistance." And then in that, they said, disable the overrides in the driver settings. Make sure you press apply. Restart the game client. Cap your FPS. As well, prevent issues with the GPU's utilization. Go to settings, visual, max FPS, set this to 60, blah, blah, blah. Additionally, please be sure to check in your NVIDIA control panel under, they get very granular here, manual 3D settings, program settings, select new world, blah, 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 blah. So, yeah. That's that. Definitely shitty though, to lose a $2,000 graphics card to New World.
And hopefully there's hundreds of them sitting around that they can send out to the people who have the problems. I do wonder how long these guys are going to be waiting for another card.
I don't know if they like how they get into that queue, right? Because EVGA does have a queue to purchase a card, and I don't know if you're getting like a replacement if you skip to the front of that, or if you're put in the same, like, I don't, they might be waiting a long time. You might be right about that.
Yeah.
It's not good. It's not good.
I was just thinking, like, if you have a 3090, I mean, you could probably, I mean, it's not going to be that much of a financial, like, divot for you if you can afford the 3090 in the first place, because it's, you know, it's a luxury item, wouldn't you say?
Yes, but you can't always assume that people who can afford luxury items didn't save up for that for months, or in some cases years, and just got themselves.
You're looking at the passionate few, right? That have skimped and saved for that card,
right?
Like most at risk. The average consumer isn't going to own a 3080 or 3090, but
well, in the case of a lot of the streamers too, they might have done some sort of sponsor gig with some company, NVIDIA, whatever, in order to get that, right? Kind of like what you did. So
yep. I did that.
I played Watch Dogs 3 for my 3080.
Yeah. There you go.
The only way I could get a 3000 card.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
They're hard to come by for sure.
The only way I could get one, I had to buy a whole new PC, custom built. It was the only way I could get
That's how I got my 3090.
Yep. It's tough for sure. Anyways, let's shift gears, talk some video games. Strippin, let's start with you, because you've actually played some new ones.
I played some stuff.
Yeah. How is
not necessarily new ones?
Well, no, you played. We no one's talked about Monster Hunter Stories. In fact, I feel like this game, in a lot of ways, is kind of gone under the radar of Twitch, but has also sold already 1 million copies. So people know that it exists because it's selling very fucking well.
Dude, I've been singing this game's praises. This is, I think, my game of the year.
I've heard you say such things. Yeah.
Really?
Let's talk like describe what we're looking at here. What's going on?
So the original Monster Hunter Stories was on 3DS and mobile, and it was essentially a monster battler style turn-based game set in the Monster Hunter universe. And so they would use all the monsters from the Monster Hunter games, and you could find the eggs, raise them, and then ride them, and you could battle other monsters, and there's a whole storyline and stuff.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago, so this is a new one. whole new storyline. There's a couple of characters that are like related to the first game, but you don't need to play it. But this game is just so polished, like fully voiced, huge 20-hour story. There's a post-game high-rank style content system, like from the actual Monster Hunter games. They've tried to like remain true to all the monsters. So all the monsters you might have fought in Monster Hunter and enjoyed fighting, they like keep those characteristics. It's just a really, really solid game. And I was like harping on Pokemon a little bit, and I was saying like Pokemon is like this billion-dollar franchise, and they just can't get a single video game right. Like, there's always problems, and like they just nail everything in this game. It feels so good. It looks so good. It's on PC on Steam. The port is great. It's 144 FPS. Runs real nice. There's a Switch version, and the frame rate is a bit but you know it's portable, so
yeah.
I guess you know you get what you get with a Switch. But man, I love this game. I have 100 hours in this game already, and I'm still playing the endgame stuff. It's really fun. They've already got a huge roadmap for it. They've already had free content updates and new monsters and stuff. There's 215 monsters in the game at launch, and I think 130 of them you can tame. So there's like a lot of content there. What does
tame mean when you say tame? That means like fight for you, ride?
It's not like Pokemon where you throw a Pokeball. The way you like get monsters is you will go into dens, and you like they're basically like roguelike procedurally generated dungeons, and they'll have a big nest at the end, and you can go in and search for an egg, and you have a chance to get a shiny rare egg. And those rare eggs might have better genes. And the way the game becomes addicting is all these monsters have these, they have a 3x3 grid, which is like a gene pool. And so you can take skills from other monsters and put them into your monster. So you could take, you know, a flamethrower move from a Rathalos and put it into a water monster or everything. So you can create all these custom move sets on these custom creatures. There's like all this build diversity, and then they've got PvP at endgame and like a lot of like cool PvE. And the endgame is co-op. You can do co-op expeditions, and so you can run these dungeons, these randomly generated dungeons with friends to get rare monsters. And it's good, man. I really, really liked it, and it's definitely a hidden gem, I think. Especially if you're into like the turn-based like battler type games, like Pokemon and the Temtem and all those other kind of games.
Yeah,
this is definitely like really cool. And if you're just into Monster Hunter in general, because they stay really true to the the Monster Hunter universe, and it's great. I really liked it. Voice acting's good, music's good.
I'm pretty far removed from the whole Monster Hunter world. No pun intended. Why would you call this a hidden gem? Is this not like a side release, or what makes this like less well known? I guess
the first game is just not known at all. And I would say, like, to this game, people don't really know what Monster Hunter Stories is. I had a lot of people coming in and being like, "Wait, is this a monster battler, but in the Monster Hunter universe?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I don't think they advertised it that much, and like JP said, it's not popular on Twitch either. So it's kind of like, I know Dan's Gaming played it, and a couple other guys tried it as well. Dan's really liking it, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I think also it's come out at a time when the New Worlds and Ashes of Creation and all these big things are dropping, and there's a new PoE and all this kind of stuff, and I think it got buried in all the new releases as well. But really, really good game, very polished. Hidden gem. I really liked it.
Cool. Surprising good.
Yeah.
How much you kind of mentioned if you just like Monster Hunter, you can jump into this. What if you like Monster Hunter but you hate Pokemon?
I had a few people that said they didn't mind that. It was fine because it doesn't play the same way. The way the combat works is it's a rock paper scissors system. So you have power, technical, and speed attacks. And you basically have to predict what your enemy's going to do and react. And so if you guess the rock, paper, scissors system right, you do bonus damage. If you guess it wrong, you take damage. And if you tie, you both take damage. So you can see at the bottom, that's got like the red icons, the green icons, the blue icons. So it's all this guessing game where you're thinking, okay, my enemy is enraged, so I think he's going to use a power move. And then you're trying to like predict it. So it's this fun little, it's not like Pokemon, there's like 12 types and all this nonsense. It's just basically like an elaborate rock paper scissors game, but there's a lot of depth to it.
That's we never talked about that, JP. You sing the praises of Persona 5 and stuff, but there's a huge Pokemon aspect of that. Did you not like do any of that? You know, collecting the personas and whatnot.
I did, but it was the type of thing where it was like, you know, looking up a guide / having chat say like, get this, this, and this, breed it with that, make the best. Okay, now you've got the best. You're good to go, right?
Is there the same thing in this game, Strippin?
There's not really a thing of like breed the best. You kind of just make something that you think is great. You can, you know, improve on the skills a monster already has, or you can just give them different ones and kind of, you know, or you can be like, hey, this is my monster that specializes in the rock paper scissors, and this is my scissors monster. Or you can say this is a monster that does all three, but not quite as well. And so there's that mix. But like, there's some nice quality of life stuff in there. You can speed the combat up to ×3 with just a click of a button. So if you like, you know, you don't want to watch all the cutscenes and you want to breeze through the combat, you can just speed that kind of stuff up. They've got like, this is a lot of quality of life stuff that these games normally leave out. That just makes it really enjoyable, I think.
What's the is there like a big bad, like the penultimate, or sorry, the ultimate monster?
So
not penultimate.
Like any Monster Hunter game, there is a secret big bad at the end of the story. You get to fight, and it's very cool. And there's a lot of cameos from big bads in the past and all that kind of stuff. They do a really good job of just like putting in monsters from every single Monster Hunter game over the last decade. So there's like, I don't know, turn-based isn't for everyone. If it is, I would recommend the game. Definitely.
Yeah. Is this a full like $60 product? I think it is, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like a small side thing. Does it have anything where if you play this, you get stuff in Monster Hunter Rise or World, and if you play those, you get stuff in this?
If you're on the Switch, they've got a crossover where if you own Rise, you get like some cool outfits and vice versa. I'm assuming it will be on PC, but Rise isn't on PC yet. It's coming later.
Oh, so, right.
Yeah. A lot of people said, like, would you recommend this game over Rise? And I honestly said, if you like Monster Hunter, I would recommend this game over Rise. Because Rise is kind of lacking in content right now. It really struggled during the COVID kind of window. And they normally come out with a G rank version of those games, which has, like, double the content a year down the line. So I think this game has a lot more content. And it's cool.
Is the story good, or is it what you would expect from like is it like a JRPG story? What are we talking?
Very JRPG.
Okay.
I thought it was really good though. The voice acting's great. It's a silent protagonist type deal. So you have this little cat that does the talking for you, and he's annoying as shit. I hated him so much.
Let me see if
I'm going to be honest, but he's from the first game, I guess. He's a carryover. As long as you can stomach him, you'll have a good time.
Might all be in-game stuff. I don't know if he'll pop up here. Is this
Endgame
one of the in-game dungeons? The like wherever you're at here, this ice cave?
It could possibly be. If I'm playing with someone else, it would be an in-game dungeon. No, this looks like this is just story mode stuff.
Oh, okay.
But end-game dungeons are like roguelike, procedure generate dungeons. I don't know if you guys played the Pokemon Sword and Shield, the new one. But it has the same vibe where the enemies walk around on the overworld, and you walk into them if you want to fight them. So you can avoid stuff whenever you want to.
Sure.
And then you have like a big boss at the end kind of job.
Voice acting good apart from that cat?
Voice acting's good. I think it has a really nice gameplay loop. It's quite addicting if you like these kind of games. But yeah, I mean, turn-based games aren't for everybody. And a lot of people prefer the action that is actual Monster Hunter. But it was really good.
Cool.
Can you use a dolphin as a projectile in this game?
There's a shark. You can use that giant shark as a projectile.
Close enough. Okay, that'll do.
Yeah. No Totsugekis.
Not bad. Well, cool. You said they do have a roadmap for supporting this, right? Down the line?
Yeah, they have a roadmap on their Twitter. A bunch of new content updates. They're looking at coming out with 4-person raids. So you can do some co-op raids with your friends and monsters. And they've got like some cool monsters from World and other games that are like expected to come as well.
Nice. Going down your recent broadcast here, Strippin. I've tuned in a lot. How's How's the XCOM going? Are you still, is that still
XCOM.
max tilt?
Yeah. I've recently been punishing myself. I built a 530 mod pack with all the hardest mods I could think of, and I've been playing through the game on the hardest difficulty. And I added a RPG mod to the soldiers, so they get random skills, and you basically like skill them up like you would an RPG. And it's just been a living nightmare, honestly. And the only people having fun are chat most of the time. But yeah, my last run ended because I missed a 99% shot on a soldier, and then my squad got wiped for it. And then I haven't played it since because I'm salty.
Get it?
Well, yeah.
Sounds like
that'd
XCOM.
make anybody salty.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Now,
sounds-
is it confirmed by anyone, any source, that you can actually fucking win this?
Baru has beat it.
With
Oh,
all
he
these
is the only-
same mods.
Same difficulty mod packs, yeah. He's the
Yeah,
only
okay.
person I know in the world that has done it.
Nice. Is it-
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I ever will. I'm too impatient.
Oh, do you just get into the match? You just get into the maps and start flying?
I just play like a psycho, yeah. And you know, my mentality is often, if that thing dies, then I will live, and then I'll miss, and then it's too late.
Yeah,
So
I see what you're
that's
saying.
me.
You don't weigh the percentages. You're just like, oh, that's above 90.
I really
That's
don't.
it.
I don't really think JP at all. So
At all.
yeah, you know, point
Got
and
it.
shoot
Got
kind
it.
of thing.
Got it.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun. Can if people want to try this out themselves, is your mod post somewhere?
Yeah,
for people to
the
find?
mod pack's on Steam. You can just search Strippin, and if you want to try your hand at suffering, the mod pack is available for you to get. There's a bunch of fun voice mods and cosmetic mods and stuff in there, just to spice it up. But yeah, I think it's like 11 gigs of mods, so it's not a small pack. But
Nice. Okay.
yeah, if you hate yourself, check it out.
To circle real quick back to Monster Hunter Stories 2, there's a demo available, I think, both on PC and Switch.
There's
if
a
you're
free
curious.
demo
Yeah.
on the Switch and on Steam,
Yep.
and your save data, if you end up enjoying the demo, will carry over to the main game.
Yeah.
And the demo is actually the first whole island, so it's a pretty huge demo. It's like 10 hours of content.
Nice. Yeah, I figured
so,
it
yeah, if you're interested.
should let people
There was
know about that.
there's one other game I played this week called Wildermyth.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You guys
How is that?
touched
You like
that
it?
at all? Really, really good. Really fun game. I played 5-person co-op. I forced 4 friends to play with me, and we all made a person and controlled them and made terrible decisions. It's like a fantasy-based XCOM, but with like a papercraft type art style. It's really cool. It's really cool. Like we had a guy that lost a limb, and then we found a secret robot underground that gave him a robot limb, and then his character became addicted to the prosthetic and cut his own leg off, and then got a robot leg, and it just kind of snowballed.
Wait, is this the new Rimworld update? What are you talking about?
I know, right? That sounds kind of awesome. Okay.
Wildermyth.
I was not aware
This
of
is-
that.
That's
It's
all built into there?
Yeah, it's just like it's a fantasy game that's like it's all randomly generated, and like anything can happen. And it generates like these comic strips. So like your characters have these unique dialogues, and then you make choices, and based on your choices, there'll be different outcomes for your characters. They might fall in love. Every chapter, depending on how well you performed, there's a period of peace, and your characters will age, and they'll actually reflect that. They'll get like white hair, and they'll get older, and eventually you'll have to like play as their children, and they'll retire as adventurers, and so like your party changes over time. And then the combat's kind of like XCOM inspired. There's a cover system. There's a fun magic system. It's like a turn-based kind of grid system thing with the monsters. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. So here I was playing with 4 other friends, and so we all reading our own lines as they came up, and the lines were all randomly generated, so you never know what's going to say and to who. It's pretty cool.
Is it tracking everyone's mouse on the screen?
It's tracking everyone's mouse on the screen, and the co-op is a little kind of iffy because anyone can click that button. And so initially we would have 5 people click next and skip 5 pages of dialogue, and they'd be like, "Oh no, where are we?" And during the
Do you have a
combat, everyone would
dedicated
try
page
and
turner?
yeah, everyone would try and move at the same time, and it would just be carnage. So we ended up assigning a dedicated page turner, but for the first hour or so, it was just absolute carnage. So the multiplayer is a cool concept, not quite there. but it's a lot of fun. But the single player is really cool. I played a couple of games off stream. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. So definitely a little hidden gem.
To like put on my D&D hat for a sec. Does the game like serve as a DM then? And you're like all players? Okay.
Yes, essentially, yeah. And like even it'll give you like 3 choices in a scenario, and it will roll a hidden dice to determine if you succeed or fail, and what happens and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's very much like the game as a DM, and you have this party of people, and you're kind of moving through the world.
Cool. Does it uses its own rule set?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Does it have any like guest passes, or is it everyone has to buy the full copy?
It does have guest passes, yeah.
Oh wow!
So you only need one person owning the copy, and then if you join their game, you don't need to own the game. And there's a ton of campaigns. There's like 15 different campaigns you can play through as well.
Wow!
So yeah,
that's awesome.
It's cool.
What does that run for?
$24.99.
Okay.
I'm looking at it. I've avoided it because I mean it doesn't jibe with me visually, but enough people have said like good things about it that I think I'm gonna have to fucking look at it and try it, and I'll probably like it. Like Slay the Spire was the same way. Like someone brought that up in my chat. Like I looked at Slay the Spire, I was like, I don't much care for this art style. And then I became addicted to it, and I just forgot the art style was even a part of anything.
Yeah.
So one of our characters just died here, and so they get a choice. They can choose to live with a permanent stat debuff, or they can choose to die and do something to help the party. So you can like choose to do one last hit, and it will be a guaranteed crit, or you can choose to give everyone armor before all this kind of stuff. So you can kind of like choose how you go out. These 2 characters actually fell in love, even though they hated each other. So yeah, it was great. They were just insulting each other for like the whole first chapter, and then by the second chapter, it was like they are lovers, and we were like, "Oh, okay."
It's just like real life.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool.
Can you carry your
choices?
Can you play like one character and bring it to every single campaign, or do you get a new character every single one?
You make the character. You can either choose to have them randomly made, or you make them. I actually don't know because I made a new character each time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you can bring a character from another campaign.
Gotcha.
But you could definitely remake them.
Yeah, Jeff in my chat says the characters have retirement ages as well.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So like warriors level up faster than wizards because they're retired by like 50, and wizards can be a wizard till they're 90. But you can do sometimes the game will offer one of the characters a personal story quest, and completing that quest might increase your retirement age by 10 years. And stuff like that.
That's awesome. That sounds very good.
Yeah, it was fun.
We might tuck this away for a DFG or something in the future.
I'd be completely down.
I think most of the standard campaigns start with 3 players, so you can just go into one and make yourselves and have a little adventure.
Awesome. That is Wildermyth for anyone curious. Is it only on Steam? Is there any like Switch or anything like that?
I actually don't know. I do not know the answer to that.
I think it's only on Steam.
And
yeah, their website says
Mac and Windows and Linux.
yeah, that's what their website says. So
yeah,
cool.
That's me.
You also played Crowfall. Do you have 5 seconds on Crowfall? Like, what was it? Not did you like what?
I'm interested to hear about this because I know a few people are like super like this is the only game. Like I've known a couple of people.
Yeah, I know like excessive profanity and a couple of people are swearing by it and stuff. But
that's what I was talking about, by the way.
Yeah, it's okay. I don't know if you've ever played Albion Online.
Sure.
When that came out, it was basically like an MMO where its focus was entirely economy player based. So like you have to craft everything. All the rare resources are out in PvP lands, and so you'd need PvP escorts to go and get the resources, and then you could get preyed upon by other PvP gangs. And it's one of those games that you just simply cannot play alone. If you do not have like a guild or a group of people to play the game with, you cannot really do anything. It's cool. The races are really cool. You can play like Minotaurs and Centaurs. The combat is a little bit clunky, a little floaty. but it's good. It's okay. Yeah, I think you know, for an early access MMO, it looked cool. I think it needs a bit more time in the oven, personally. And again, it's definitely one of those games that you definitely need a good guild of people to play with. But yeah, it was okay. I enjoyed my time with it. I hit max level. You can get to max level really quick. They have this VIP system, and the way they do it in the game is quite strange. You basically pay this kind of monthly subscription to get a VIP, and then you can boost a character to level 25 every 24 hours. With the max level being 30 to 35. 30 is the soft cap, and then 35 is like the hard cap where you do a bunch of endgame stuff. So you can essentially nearly boost a character to endgame every day. So I guess they intend for you to have a lot of characters so that you can have a lot of different crafting specializations. And, okay. It's kind of weird how they've done it, but that's like their monetization model. The game's buy to play, so you buy it once and then there's no subscription fee.
Right.
But yeah, it was okay. I think it definitely needs more time. And I think the launch kind of went under the radar, maybe because of all the new stuff coming out. But I was playing it on the second day, and they said there was only 2,000 players or something.
Dang. So
it's definitely not super popular, and definitely quite niche for that. There's people that are really invested in the PvP side of MMOs.
Yeah, it's one of those ones where I've kind of been following it on Twitter and social media and reading a couple of their updates, and it never had anything to like push me over to the edge to actually go play it.
Yeah, I mean, I started playing it, and I found out the end game wasn't even in yet. I don't think the end game is actually in the game yet. So it's basically you hit end game, and then you just craft and you prepare for the PvP continent to open up or something.
Right, right.
So I would definitely keep an eye on it, but I would wait.
Yeah, that makes sense. Well, cool. Zeke, what else have you been playing? I know. Are you done with Deus Ex? Is it over?
Finished her up yesterday.
Was it, did you start focusing on like main story then? You said there was a lot to do, or did you just play a shit ton?
No, I just played it like all the way through. And I didn't rush it. I was pretty thorough.
Yeah.
I think I ended up with, I want to say 40 something hours.
Damn. Okay.
Something like that.
Good run.
And the thing that really fucking surprised me about it was that how much content was on one CD-ROM. Like there's a ton of shit. I would think they would have to split it up over a few discs, but apparently not.
Yeah.
Maybe the technology in 2000 the compression technology was better than I remember. I don't know.
It should still only be like 600 or 700 MB on one disc back then. So
crazy.
Yeah.
But let's see here. There it is. Playtime. Yeah, playtime 41:52. So it took me about 42 hours, and I was very thorough. I made sure to read every single newspaper, every single like little kiosk, little thing that you have the news of wherever you're at. They go to a little kiosk and it's like news in Paris. This is what's happening, or that kind of shit. So I read all those, read all the books that I found, read all the emails, every single one. I read them out loud and all that shit. So
yeah,
that probably added quite a bit of time, but also, something I didn't count on or didn't expect, was that the most, valuable currency in the game is skill points. And the way you get skill points is, completing tasks or goals and stuff, but also exploring. So it really behooves you to run around and find little nooks and crannies and stuff. So I did a lot of that. What they also don't tell you is, after a while, skill points are kind of if you wanna. It becomes a moot point. Do you want more skill in lockpicking? I mean, you got this augment that you can just bust down doors and locks. You can just take your fucking laser sword, pump up your muscle, and just bust that chest open. You don't need a lockpick. if that doesn't work, you always got the GEP gun. You can always just rocket that fucking door open if you want. So, like, I was like, I don't think I'm going to put any more points in lockpicking.
Yeah.
Like, what about, do you want to put any more points in hacking? And like, I could just blow up the lasers where the lasers are coming at. Like, most of the problems that skill points present or that solve can also be solved with a rocket launcher. Like, seriously, with the GEP gun.
I can think of a lot of problems that could be solved with a rocket launcher, you know? If
Very
you really,
true.
yeah. It's kind of a Swiss Army knife of projectile weapons, if you think
it
about
was. Like, honestly, that was the best. I like, played the totally blind, no spoilers. Started the game, played the game all the way through. That was the best accidental, like, thing. They were like, what weapon do you want? I was like, give me the rocket launcher. Didn't know how fucking useful that thing would be throughout the entire game. That thing was the best purchase. I swear, if I had the laser sword and the GEP gun, that's all I need for the whole game. I don't need to do any more skills, nothing.
Yeah.
It's just fine. Because you need at least the laser sword for the underwater parts, because you can't fire the rocket underwater thing. Anyway,
I could fire a rocket launcher on it. Give me a rocket launcher. I'll go jump in a pool.
You give me a rocket launcher and give me a couple days, I'll fire that fucker underwater. You bet your ass.
That's very true. Goddamn right.
But here's the thing: like, did it live up to the hype? Yes, it absolutely did. It surprised me, in many different ways. One of the ways that it surprised me a lot was, the little things they don't tell you that affect stuff later in the game. Like, if you don't choose to save this person, you won't get this dialogue thing later in the game. And there's several moments like that kind of like wove themselves in the story, and I was really surprised that they had that it was that intricate. And I really dug it. The language in the game. I made this comment several times. Whoever was writing some of the emails and books and stuff had a fucking like dog-eared thesaurus like sitting right next to his keyboard. It's like, bad. All right, we can do better than bad. Malicious, that's a good one. Like, you know, like just choosing the best words in the situation. Like, several times I had to look up the definitions. I was like, I have never seen that word. You made it up. Nope. It's okay. It's a actual used word. Okay. I learned a new word. Good. I probably like learned like at least a dozen new words just playing this game. Whether it be technobabble that I thought was technobabble was actually a real thing. Or just like really like, you know, $10 words, vocabulary words.
Yeah. That
I never heard before. But the other thing that I really liked was how much, like, after like living through COVID and you know, quarantine and all that shit, like, this has some very similar like correlations like to their story, because they talk about there's a disease in there called the Great Death, and it's like a pandemic. It's spreading all over. There's riots and all this kind of shit, and I was like, this is fucking eerie sometimes. It's crazy. Yeah.
It was all created by the government.
Yeah.
I mean, that's true. I mean, that's very, you know, very on point, right?
Totally.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the game is great. Will it be like, people ask us, like, you know, jokingly ask, is this your favorite game of all time now? Like, it is. Like, it probably won't ever be. And it probably won't like crack, like, you know, top games for me of all time, because for that to happen, it has to have some sort of new revelation. I would have had to play it when it was new.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I made the correlation to Morrowind. Like, Morrowind is one of my favorite games of all time, but that's because I played it when it was new, and I had no idea the world it had in store for me. You know, if I went back and never played it and played it now, I'd be like, it's good, but like, man, it's clunky, you know, or, you know, shit like that. Like, that's the same thing with this. Like, I can totally put myself in that mindset and go, holy shit, this must have been revolutionary back in the day.
Yeah.
But I've already played all the games that copied this one. So a lot of the stuff wasn't like brand new to me, you know.
Sure.
So, but it's fucking excellent. I played it vanilla, by the way. I played it like straight up vanilla. Even I played it 3x4. Like I played it in you know how most people play, because I wanted to play it like most people played it their first time. So I played it in 3x4 with whatever resolution, no mods, no nothing, no packs. It was, and still held up. I mean, I played it for 41 hours. Like, dude, there's something there. So, yeah.
Are you going to play the critically acclaimed Deus Ex Invisible War next?
What game is that? That game doesn't exist.
That's why I was curious.
No, I got that question a lot. Are you going to play the franchise now? Are you going to play the other? Like, no, I am
it's
not.
So good though.
No, I know, but I'm going. I mean, I've heard it's critically acclaimed, but I'm not. I very rarely do I play a franchise back to back to back to back. Like, I need more variety than that. Me personally, not even just my stream, which my stream does benefits from that too.
Right.
But me personally, I don't want to jump right into another fucking Deus Ex game. I can't do that. So I'm gonna probably check out a couple of like newer games. Maybe Wildermyth. Now that you know,
Wildermyth, not Wildermyth.
Strippin, you know, put the tip me over the tipping point. I'll give that a look, but yeah. I might play him down the line sometime, but
yeah, influencers got to influence.
I'm influencing.
Yeah, he's influencing. That's
you have influenced me. I just hope you haven't influenced Cohh too much, so I can play it first before.
Don't worry, he's playing 14 now. His soul is gone.
Yeah, no, his soul's gone. We took care of that.
We have it. We already have it.
Yeah,
fair enough.
On.
Yeah,
destroyed.
Yeah. It's true. It's true.
Was it Wildermyth, not Van Wildermyth?
Yes, it's not Van Wildermyth.
You said? Okay.
No. Okay. Jump real quick to talk PoE, then we're gonna jump back to Indie Sunday. Cohh, did you watch any of the announcements for PoE stuff?
Yeah, a little bit. I actually skipped through the video and checked out like all the changes and stuff they're making. They are reinventing a lot of that.
It's gonna be a weird week end.
Yeah, yeah. I'm doing a sponsored look at it at some point.
Yeah,
and I'm looking forward to seeing how it's gonna be. It's gonna be interesting.
I was talking with Ziz last night. I've never spoken with Ziz, and it'd been the week of PoE launch, and him just being like, "Oh God," those patch notes were a little grim, and the game it's gonna feel a lot different come Friday, I think. So we'll see how that goes. It'll be an interesting league for sure.
It's going to be more interesting to see how the community responds to it. Honestly, like yeah. I'm looking for, it's going to be crazy. I
think it'll probably be pretty split, right? Like, I think that there's people that like their PoE to be fast and, you know, absurd amounts of damage and very little risk in a lot of ways. And then whatever this weekend's going to be is not necessarily that. But it all could just be fine. We'll have to kind of see how it plays out, but those patch notes were grim. They took a knife to like everything in the game and nerfed damage all the way around and speeds down, and it's going to be interesting to see how that goes.
It's a rebalance patch. It's like when MMOs eventually get out of control with their damage numbers and they have to crunch everything back down. It's reminiscent of that.
Yep.
They were like, "There's too much creep, and we got to do something about it." And this is what we're gonna do.
Yep. It'll be interesting to see. I'll be checking that out on Friday, so we'll see how that goes.
Oh God, yeah. Somebody just said, think of the hardcore community. Oh my Lord,
dude. They've already upped damage across the board, right? So they've upped damage of the enemies in the game, but decreased damage of the players. So
it might create more build diversity though, which would be cool.
That's the goal, right? That's what they're wanting.
That's what they're going for.
Yeah, that's what Chris is hoping that they have done, but we'll see. It's gonna have to take a lot of players, I think, to like smash their. It's one thing when the dev teams are like, you probably shouldn't play this build. The players are gonna be like, well, fuck you, I'm gonna play this build. Then they're gonna smash their head against this wall and be like, shit, I shouldn't have played this. This is not. It's kind of nerfed to oblivion now. So
it's a perfect time for me to start playing because I'll be like, this is great, guys, and all the PoE players will be like, no, it isn't.
Yeah.
Stop liking this. It's terrible.
Stop liking the game. You're making them think this was a good decision. Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. It's also coming out at that, like the summer releases for PoE. I think I have no actual data to back this up, but from the outside looking in, I feel like those are usually the most played leagues because there's not much else around them when it comes to game releases. So for them to kind of choose this experiment in the middle of or the end of July rather, it could go awry. It could not be the correct decision, but
God, watch this be the first time they roll back a league or something.
yeah. Well, we'll be able to find out pretty quickly. People will be watching the amount of players or whatever on Steam, right? And being like, look, we were right. No one's gonna play the goddamn game. Fix it. Turn it back. And
I think it's cool that they're taking risks.
Totally.
So,
yeah, you
trying to
can't fault them
innovate,
for that.
and every season they try and make it different and interesting in some way.
Yeah.
Sometimes they might miss the mark, but I think I still commend them for it.
Yeah. We'll find out. I'm sure we'll talk about that next week on what the how the patch went. So we'll see how
Before
that
we
goes.
Indie Sunday,
Yeah.
have you guys seen the new Guilty Gear character DLC trailer?
I'm watching it after this. I saved my reaction for the stream, so I know who it is.
And I
but
shall
I've not
say,
watched the
I
video.
shall say no more. Yeah, I'm very excited.
Okay.
Very excited.
All right. Yeah. I mean, I saw who it was and everything, but I haven't seen any of the footage yet. So
Yeah,
does he look good? Is it good? Type?
I'll be maining him. He looks amazing.
Yeah, but you
Looks
switch
really
characters more than.
Yeah, but I've been looking for my guy, and I think this is my guy.
Okay.
He's
All
my
right.
guy.
Okay. All right.
It looks really cool. The roadmap's great.
Okay. All right.
The next character's coming next month. Which is even cool.
That's your new main. It's the
Yeah, I'll
character
probably
next-
swap.
Yeah. All right, let's do Indie Sunday here. Zekers, we've got, I'm just going to go in the order that I have them open. It might not have been the order that you played them. The first one is Of Bird and Cage.
Yep. A Bird and Cage is it was kind of a disappointment, to be honest with you.
Okay.
So
Sorry.
first of all,
I just saw his name for the new Guilty Gear character.
it says it's Of Bird and Cage is a unique metal album presented through a 2-hour-long story-driven game. Well, first of all, first things first. It ain't like no metal I ever heard.
Is this some of that new metal?
It's music. Don't get me wrong, but it'd be a stretch to call it metal.
Okay.
I think there might have been one metal-ish song in the how long did I play? 1 hour?
Yeah.
I think there was like one metal-ish song that I played in there. But what they don't tell you in the blurb there, or in the tags of music, female protagonist, interactive fiction, and 3D, is that it gets dark. Like, I thought it was going to be like metal. Yeah, metal album, dude. We're going to be doing fire and stuff. And no, there's like abuse and drug addiction and
in metal
like
music? Really?
They throw you into this like immediately. Like, it's just like,
Okay.
there's really not a lot of warm up. It's like the first thing you do is like, hey, your drug dealer's here and you need drugs. How are you going to pay him without any money? And you're like, oh no.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's one of the first things. So I wasn't expecting that. Not that it's bad. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, like, I mean, I read something maybe you should include in like the elevator pitch of the game.
Sure.
But anyways, it's okay. The music is not terrible. It's not metal, but it's not bad.
Okay.
I didn't actually play like a whole lot of it because there's not a lot of game elements. It's more like a Telltale game. You go around, you make choices. You have this is you drink the tequila and you play a QuickTime game.
I mean, that's what happens when I drink tequila.
In order to get drunk, I often have to repeatedly spam a button, tap it at the right time, and or hold it.
Yep.
That button before I can get drunk.
It's true. It's true.
The one thing I did kind of like about this was it some of the QuickTime events, like you would do QuickTime things you would be tapping with one finger, and then like you'd have to hold with another finger, and then you'd have to like switch it up. That was kind of cool. They kind of it wasn't just like one button or hold a button. It was like they kind of put a little variety in there, which I like. But I mean, there's not really a lot to say to it. I think you can, if you go watch the trailer on Steam, I think they probably have some of the music playing. If you like that kind of music, you might like the game. I will say one of the cool things is we made sure, or one of my mods looked up, it is stream safe. There's no DMCA music. They said That's it cool. Is absolutely fine to stream and play on every platform. So
cool.
That was neat.
Yeah. All right. What does a Bird Cage cost?
It is $14.99, and you can get that and the soundtrack if you want for $19.53.
Okay. The next one's an interesting way of spelling a word. It's Nemesis Mystery Journey 3.
Nemesis. Yeah, I know. Nemesis, and it's the third one in the series, I guess. I never played the other two. Yeah. But I saw this, and it looked like it was right up my alley because it's a puzzle game, exploration, that kind of stuff. Nemesis Mysterious Journey 3 is a puzzle adventure game with countless brain teasers in which two tourists find themselves engaged in a series of mysterious events. The puzzle designer is Roland Pantola, creator of critically acclaimed adventure titles such as Rhea and the Schism series. But this is for puzzle people who enjoy exploration, real life, like puzzles like this that change up the way the puzzles are solved. It's not like it's the puzzle game that The Witness. It's not like The Witness where it's like it's a similar puzzle every time, but like different rules are thrown in or different whatever. This is like completely different setups for completely different puzzles every time. I am playing this on my own time. I love these kind of games. Like I love just sitting there. The reason why I'm not streaming it is because the last puzzle I solved took me like an hour of just going like, that doesn't make sense though. No, but the light comes on when I hit that. But when I press it more times, it doesn't change it. What the? So there's a lot of that. Just, and I mean, I love that feeling, like of just being fucking stumped, and then when you get it, it's so satisfying. Right. There was a couple of puzzles in the game that I was like, this doesn't make any sense. There's some. It's tough to create a puzzle game with different puzzles in it that doesn't have at least a little teaspoon of bullshit. Like one of them was there were two similar looking things side by side, but they were completely different puzzles. They just looked exactly the same. So I was like, oh, they're correlated. They are not correlated at all. This is what I'm talking about. These circles here are a completely different puzzle than the circles that you can see like in the background behind it. They look exactly the same though, but they're solved completely differently. And while it could be arguable that is bullshit, but it was bullshit to me because it was like, this one worked and this one did. They're totally different puzzles. It's like, but they look exactly the same. That made me mad. Anyway, I loved it, and I'm 8 hours in, and I'm still like,
damn, okay,
scratching my head. While I'm like, I watch put on Netflix show, and I'm just like, do both at the same time, kind of like try and solve shit. So,
well, yeah, they got to be successful. This is the third one, so they're doing something.
Yeah,
and they're tough puzzles too. Like when you figure it out, you're kind of like, okay, that's good. I wasn't mad at it when I figured out that there were two separate puzzles, and then someone in chat did help me. because I was getting to the end of its 2 hours or whatever. I was getting to break time.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, is this the blah, blah, blah? And someone in the chat was like, no, it's, but I was like, oh, okay. I mean, it didn't solve the puzzle for me, but it definitely like put it into a different like context. I'm like, oh, I'm not mad now. It made total sense. And I'm a little upset with myself, if anything.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, that's Nemesis Mysterious Journey 3.
What's that cost?
That is $19.99.
You got 8 hours out of it? That seems like a pretty good deal.
Oh, I'm still playing it.
Yeah.
I'm still playing. Well, 4 of those hours have just been me going.
So really, it's about a 3-hour game for $20 is what I'm hearing.
No, dude, if you knew how to answer the puzzles, half an hour probably. The puzzle. But that's the same thing with Myst. If you know the answer to every single puzzle in Myst, how long is it going to take you?
Sure.
You think you would go back and play the other two if you finish this one?
I might, yeah. I'm
puzzles?
Yeah. I might just have to go back and look it up. I think that's what happened with the room. I think I started with like the room 2 or 3, and I was like, "Fuck, this is great." Then I went back and played all the rest of them.
Yeah, room's great. Runo, the next game. What's Runo?
Not a lot to say about Runo. It's a walking simulator about deer memories. Haha, no, deer, like you hold them dear. Deer memories, overcoming obstacles, and finding your path. Experience a story inspired by Finno-Karelian folklore. It's basically like a kind of a history lesson for Finnish traditions and that kind of stuff. It's like it's a fable based in Finland kind of a thing. And I learned a lot about like a lot of Finnish people have a cabin and a sauna. It's like a traditional thing. Like you got a little cabin out somewhere and there's a sauna next door, and that's where you go to do family shit and you relax. Like it's like a pretty common thing. And that, like, I didn't know that. And there's a game that you play with a log. It's kind of like bowling-ish. You have a big log, and then you have logs that are stood up long ways that are cut, and then you put numbers on them, and you throw the log at the numbers, and you try to get the high score. So,
what's the name of that game?
Learn that. Yeah. But yeah, if you're curious about Finnish culture and stories from that same area, then this is the game for you. I don't want to shit on games with a lot of reading, but this had too much reading for indie day. Like I was like, all right, that's enough. I'm done reading. I don't want to read anymore. I want to get some action in.
All right. Short but sweet. That's Runo.
Yep.
What do we got next? Oh, goody. This one's called The Annoying Game.
Yep. The Annoying Game.
Oh, great.
I have less to say about this, but I had so much more fun with this than most of the games because it's just a fucking annoying platformer.
Bossy.
It's I want to be the game.
Yeah.
But it's more accessible because it's not like I thought it was going to be a lot more shitty, like noob traps and flying spikes and like gotcha deaths and stuff like that. Not a lot of that. It's pretty straightforward. Like it's a fucking tough platformer. You got to be really exact and shit like that. But I played a little bit of this on my own time too because it's just a tough, cheap platformer. It is $4.
$4. Okay, I was gonna ask how cheap are we talking?
Yep, $4 on Steam, and you'll probably die a lot. You know, like I would recommend like you'll probably want to turn off the sound after a while because the noise that happens when you die is the Wilhelm scream, and you die a lot. So maybe just put on some music if you're gonna play this.
Or alternatively, leave it on so when everyone says that was a Wilhelm, you could be like, it was.
It was indeed.
It was indeed. I know. Yeah. Because I still don't know.
It's. I mean, yeah. Nothing much. It's a 2D platformer. Yep.
Cool.
The Steam says, "Are you patient enough to finish one of the most difficult games of the year. Like, you trying to challenge me, bro?
What the hell? Okay. Final game, I believe, is Beyond the Seventh Circle.
Inferno. Beyond the Seventh Circle.
Inferno. Yes, I missed the important word there. Sorry.
Inferno Beyond the Seventh Circle. It's a love letter to retro grid-based RPGs. It's a grid-based first-person dungeon crawler with survival elements. It's inspired by classic CRPGs, which is redundant, from the 90s. An old school game for hardcore players. This game it's exactly what it says on the box. It has survival elements. It's grid-based. It's turn-based when you get into combat. The map looks like an old-timey D&D map. Like, every place you cannot go, it looks like it was scribbled out with a pencil. Like, has like on your map, it has like X's. Oh, you see the upper right corner.
Yeah.
You can see like where the enemies are. You can see where like there's X's where like points of interest, like if it's a tree or if it's a crate, stuff like that. You can. It's really, really customizable. There's a lot of ways you can go. You start off by making a character. You do strength, intellect, body, mind, speed, luck. They have pre-builds if you want to use those too. There's you can get proficiencies in all the stuff D&D wise, like armor and swords and pole arms, stuff like that. You can do magic, healing magic, or what is it called? There's white, black, elemental, and one other.
Time?
Oh, necromancy.
Necromancy. Okay.
There's the 4 schools of magic that you can specialize in. I did just black magic, so I could throw like fireballs and shit. But it's great. It's fantastic. I absolutely really, really enjoyed my time with it. I might go back to it either on stream or off to give it another look and give it a full play. Maybe not play through, but maybe a full day of playing it. It definitely nails the retro aesthetic with some updated, like, it doesn't look like blocky or anything like that. It just looks like you're going through like really cool still images and stuff like that. That's how you do spells. You type C to get in your casting, and then you type 4 letters. All spells are 4-letter codes, like main, MAIN, brings up your map. They might randomize it. I'm not sure if they do or not.
That's cool.
But I'm glad they do, because I tried like, okay, let's try fire. Nope. Let's try this. And then when I got my fireball spell, it was something completely else. Yeah, the monster designs, they're pretty sweet too.
Yeah, that's pretty
monster
gnarly.
drawings. They look like old the artist Pusshead Metallica shirts. Like they look like that kind of like monstery design. It's really cool.
Yeah. What's this run?
This is $16.99, $17 on Steam.
Okay.
And you can get the soundtrack for $4 more if you want.
How's the music?
Developed and published by 68K Studios. How's the music? Music's good. It's not like it wasn't fantastic at meaning like it didn't stand out. Maybe it did. There might have been a time like if no, the soundtrack's really good. There's usually a time during the thing that it hits me and I like, crank it up. Might have been one of those times. I know it wasn't during the Bird and Cage one. I never really cranked that one. The metal game, but I think I might have pumped up the music on this. I think it was good. Anyway,
awesome.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. So yeah,
cool. Cohh, I know you played a little bit of the Rimworld update. We've all played Rimworld.
Yeah.
What does this update add to it? Is it worth it going back? What do you think?
My lord, it is absolutely worth
Just
going back. It is incredible. So basically what happens now at the beginning of Rimworld is you establish your entire like ideology, which is the name of the expansion. So you can be a nudist cannibal community that worships spike stuff and does it. I mean, you could be a cybernetic worshipping communistic community.
Thursdays
you can basically break right.
Yeah.
You can break down and decide like all the little assets and facets of your community and like where they get bonuses and what they outlaw. You can be a slaver, no slaver. You can worship nature. You can abhor it. You can like be vegetarian. You can like, and there it's basically like this entire new level of customizing your little Rimworld experience. So it is wild. It is going to lead to some crazy meme runs. I'm this one right here. I'm like an underground cybernetic worshiping community that is represented by beanies, and and
you get to choose
I think
that?
my next.
Like, how did you?
Absolutely. You get to choose your ceremonial garb. So I picked Took as my ceremonial garb.
Okay.
And yeah, and this is of course on if you didn't play it on top of the royalty DLC, which adds like psi abilities and all sorts of crazy stuff. So it is nuts. There's a huge amount of new content, a huge amount of stuff, and there's underground farming now and things like that. Like if you have not played Rimworld in a long time, it is a great time to go back. It has become a very large, cool, unique experience.
Now there was the 1.3 update, which was free, but then there's ideology, which is paid, right? That's the structure.
$20.
It's $20. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is there like a
pack? From the looks of it so far, worth every penny.
Okay. Is there a pack in for like all of the expansions, or is this only the second one?
I think there is some kind of big deal, but I'm not sure as I was buying them, on their own.
Yeah. Strippin, for all the XCOMing that you do, I figure you should probably play Rimworld. Have you ever touched this before?
I was actually going to ask her, what would you say to someone who has never played Rimworld because it looks a bit too daunting?
The good thing about Rimworld, there is, but there are only basic needs that you need to start with, like food and shelter and things like that, and then you can kind of grow the experience out from there. So very similar to what I would say to somebody who is like interested in starting a gigantic game, kind of like what I say to Path of Exile, like you don't need to know everything to have fun. You only need to know a little bit, and then everything else just becomes like icing on the cake. So it is not too daunting. There's some good tutorials. You can see in the top right there of the screen. There's that little orange box, and as you play it for the first time, it'll tell you like what you need to do to meet basic needs and things like that. It is a large game, especially at this point. It is a huge game.
It's very big.
As you play it, you'll come to appreciate that largeness just means that like so much crazy stuff can happen. I had a dude who tried to attack my colony, and then he got completely wrecked by a group on the way out that was leaving my colony. But then a cobra came in and bit his neck off, which is what actually killed him. His head was bitten off by a cobra. I then had a visiting diplomat from another company come, and everyone in my colony hit on her. So then she started sleeping with one colonist while rebuffing the other two, and then right before she left in 2 days, agreed to marry another one, and then cheated on the third one.
Also,
that's basically a daytime drama. Like
it is.
Did she leave?
Yeah.
Oh, she left.
Yeah.
She pledged to get married and then left the planet.
Jesus. Also,
and now I did another mission to get a new person, and this person has moved into my colony, is a different religion. He's trying to convert everyone in my colony from my religion to her religion.
Get him out.
And she has established rivals with every single other person in the colony.
Get the snake.
She hates everyone. She's trying to convert everyone to her religion, and she just complains all the time.
Put him in the snake box.
Time for the boo box.
Yeah, we need the boo box. Yeah. Strippin,
it's great.
You were asking like, because I think both me and Zeke were in your situation when Cohh first brought this to us of like, this looks real complicated. We jumped in and we were both able to grasp it, so you'll be fine.
Okay.
Like me and Zeke.
I just see the UI and I panic, man. It's like
it's
25 ways to build a floor. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah. It does a good job from a tutorial point of view of like letting you know exactly what Cohh just said, letting you know what is important to pay attention to, and the other stuff you just start to realize like, oh, that means this, or oh, this means that type deal. Also, if you're streaming,
think about it.
You learn something new like every run, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, every single run is completely different.
Yeah.
What's also cool is there may be 25 ways to build a floor, but they're all floors, and they'll all do what you need them to do.
Yep.
So there is a lot of variety and a lot of spice in the game, but a lot of times there's a lot of like cross need, like 20, 30 different things can all do the same thing from a mechanic standpoint. So
yeah,
that's great.
Yeah.
I think we all have had we've had a good time, and we've all had like varying levels of playtime with it. Me and Zeke put like a couple hours into it. Cohh's put like hundreds of hours into it. I know like Bike Man and Baru have all played a shit ton of this as well.
I'm playing more tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Sure, like it's really cool.
It's
really
the absurdity of it that's fun.
I think the best correlation that I could come up with was or a best analogy I could come up with was, have you ever been to like the bathroom section of like a Home Depot or something? It's like they got like 200 faucets. They all do the same shit. It's the same shit. Like they produce water, but you'll see them all and you'll be like, do I have to go through each and every one of these? Like, nah, just look at one and grab it. That's how you're good.
Yeah.
That was my experience, at least.
No, I'd say that's right on. It's definitely worth it. And it's only like, what, $20, I think, for the base game, or maybe even cheaper than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where if you get into it, it is so worth getting the rest of the content. Like, it's all pretty great.
Yeah.
I'll put my beanie on tomorrow morning and watch Cohh and see what I can learn.
There you go. That's the way to do it. Cohh, how's Final Fantasy going? Where are you at in the story?
Good.
Like,
I beat turn 7 last night. Going to work on turn 8 and turn 9 tonight because Coil of Bahamut is amazingly cool. I never got through it back in the day. I'm currently working my way through Heaven's Ward. It's really picking up. I'm kind of getting through that foundation laying thing and kind of getting into the meat of it. I've been working on my glamour stuff. Unlocked the hairdresser last night and glamour plates and all that. Attached it to my loadouts and
oh boy,
yeah, it's been good.
Yeah,
it's been good. I'm really enjoying it.
What like main story wise? Where are you at MSQ? Like what was the last? It's weird because I know ways to talk around the spoilers, but I don't know the question to ask you because I don't know if you know the ways to talk around.
Yeah, no, and that's good. That's good. That's one of the easiest ways to unintentionally spoil is being like, "Hey, have you gotten to the part yet?"
Yeah.
Where it's like, that's happened more than a few times. I am currently where my icy woman friend.
Okay.
Is I'm speaking with my icy woman friend, and she is taking me to meet a large scaly friend to potentially broker something.
Sure.
Between some major factions.
Okay, you've made some progress then. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
Very, very much looking forward to that.
Yeah. You still playing Machinist?
Yes, I am. I'm level almost. I don't know what level I am, but I'm loving it. Machinist is awesome. I've been having a great time with it. It definitely is. I think the right class for me, and I'm really liking it. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I've watched a lot of different folks play. You're always streaming when I'm streaming, so unfortunately I haven't had time to watch it, but Summit is playing late night. It's really fun to watch Summit play because first of all, it's Summit. Second of all, Summit really likes anime, so he immediately attaches to the Final Fantasy story. And third of all,
and Dragoons.
Yeah, and Dragoons. And Summit also likes to smoke a lot of weed. So he gets very focused on, like laser focused on the story. And it's really fun to watch. He was doing like Praetorium last night. And if you've done that, you know what it is. And you don't pay attention to it. He was very much just like, oh my God, is that really? He's here. And I was like, I've never reacted this. I've ran this 1,000 times, literally. I've done this thing 1,000 times. I've never seen someone like react that way to every single aspect of it. So it's been fun.
Kind of great.
Yeah, it's been. There's a lot of different folks playing it. Cohh's playing it. Summit's been playing it. S-Fan has been playing it. S-Fan like made himself in the game as a Roganin. So he's just like this giant burly guy with long hair, and he just role plays the entire time. He's doing voice acting for like every line spoken so far in the MSQ. So good luck to him on that.
See how long that lasts.
Yeah. Good luck. I think he's done about 3 or 4 broadcasts for that. That's
who's gonna tell him?
yeah, it's been. I mean, Jesse did the whole thing, voice acting. He's a madman, so maybe Summit can, or maybe S-Fan keep it up. But yeah, it's been wild for that stuff. They put out. Did you guys? We didn't really cover it because it's not necessarily news, but they put out a statement basically saying like, our servers are kind of on fire right now due to the extreme demand. So we're gonna try and like work on this and speed some things up and try to make it make sense by the time the expansion comes out in November, but no promises. COVID kind of screwed everything. So there's a lot going on with that game. And it's been fun to watch and will continue to be fun watching folks dive into that. So
makes me happy because I feel like that team deserves it, you know?
Yeah.
They've been in the
100%,
shadow
dude.
of other MMOs for so long, and even though people are yelling like, hey,
yeah. Well,
game.
It's definitely the case of one of those things where the game's never been like super big on Twitch, but it's been like pretty successful. And now it's kind of the best of both. Where like now it's pretty successful. It was on like, I think it was averaging like 70 or 80,000 viewers the other day with Aspen not even streaming. And it's like, as someone who's watched that directory hover from like 5,000 to 6,000 viewers every night.
Yeah.
Just insane to see those type of numbers.
The idea that I can stream it without killing my channel is really exciting.
Yeah, it's great,
dude. The numbers have been kind of obscene. Like I'm averaging like second day new game numbers almost every time I play, which is wild. Yeah, absolutely wild.
People really love watching other people experience the story
for the first time.
Unique thing. Yeah,
that's right.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Is there anything else? Any other stuff people have been playing? Any other news? Or are we good? Are we calling it?
I tried the Pokemon MOBA today.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. That came out today, right? Is that Switch only?
Came out last night. It's Switch only right now. It's free to play.
Okay.
It's Switch only. You can buy to skip a lot of the grind, but it's a pretty simplistic MOBA. The focus is that by killing other players and killing like the jungle mobs and stuff, you collect points, and then you dunk the points in the enemy rings, which are just throughout the lanes.
Okay.
And whoever has the most points at the end wins, and that's it. And you just kind of play. And the games are like super quick, in and out. 15 minutes tops.
Is it free to play?
Very replayable. Free to play, yeah.
Okay. What's like what do they actually charge money for?
It's like XP boosts and stuff like that, like cosmetics.
Okay.
And just
standard fare then.
So, yeah, standard like kind of MOBA fare.
Yeah, makes sense.
Oh, also real quick before we go,
10-minute matches.
Go ahead.
Oh, that's it. Your Pokemon.
I was just gonna say, TennoCon happened, and New War is looking awesome, and we should actually have like some new stuff coming up pretty soon.
Yes,
that's was really about it.
Yeah, TennoCon was awesome. The New War stuff was cool. I think the other big takeaway, at least for me, I don't know if it was for you, the reveal that they did to show cross-platform and to show mobile was like, that's bigger than anything I think that game has done in a very long time. Like cross-platform for Warframe will be absolutely huge. And the way they handled that was very much in the like DE wheelhouse of a surprise where the guy just like stood up and like, oh no, I'm playing right here on my phone type deal. And then 2 or 3 people sat down on the set, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, mobile. They were all playing together. That's very big. It also,
biggest appeal for Warframe is just you can play it on anything, anywhere. And
it's cross save. So like you can, shut your PC down, whatever you were doing, pick up right where you were doing on your Switch or on your mobile device, which very cool stuff. So that was, people are asking what game. That was Warframe. Saturday was when TennoCon happened. I think me and Cohh both covered that, but you can go to their official, if you don't want to see our faces or reactions on top of it, you can go to their official YouTube channel and watch that stuff. And the story stuff, without any spoilers, looks very different from what you would expect from Warframe, but also very much what you would also expect from Warframe. And a lot
more importantly, this is stuff we've been waiting for like years.
Yes.
Like years and years and years. My favorite part of Warframe by far is the quests and the world development and all the stuff that kind of like really sold me in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
And man, it is so good to see them getting close to actually getting this out there, because I'm very pumped for it. Yeah, it looks cool.
Yep, cool. It does. It does indeed. Chat reminded me I played Neo: The World Ends With You, which is the sequel to World Ends With You. That was a sponsored stream yesterday. It is a very square JRPG game, and that's kind of all you need to know. I think if you're a fan of The World Ends With You, then you're already kind of on board. It was definitely an odd sponsored stream because, the people that are watching that were like, they knew more about the game than I did and I was playing it type situation. And the people that don't know anything about it were like, this is a JRPG closed stream. Like, I understand what's happening here. Yeah. Yeah.
Is it possible to end a sub early?
It was, I had a lot of fun with it, but it's very much, and there are some like correlations to, or some parallels, I should say, to Persona, in the sense of how it looks. Like, it's very well, the art is great. The voice acting was fine.
Oh, your webcam matches their little boxes.
Yeah. That's cute. Where's the combat? Well, there's some of the combat. There's a lot of tutorializing in the demo. Maybe here? Nope. Still in tutorial. It was 2 hours. The demo's 2 hours long. I completed it. There we go. This is the boss. A little bit of the gameplay here. The gameplay is very simple, but also like kind of deceptively difficult. You can like change which buttons you use on the controller. I made the mistake of fighting a boss and using R1, L2, and triangle for my attacks. And the way it works is what?
Is this mobile?
Nope.
Is this on mobile?
This is on the PS4. It's also on Switch. So kind
Those
of
look like mobile buttons at the bottom.
Yeah, the original game, the first game, I should say, was on 3DS back in the day. So it's very much of that mindset in a lot of ways.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fine. It's if you've played The World Ends With You, you know what to expect. The story is absolutely fucking wild as well. Which if you've played World Ends With You, you know what to expect. Which is an absolutely crazy story. You meet God eventually. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Hell.
It's a JRPG afterward. You don't have to dethrone God, but you eventually, I think, meet him.
You don't have to, but I mean, you know.
Yeah, I think you have to do that. Anyways, I think we're good. Anything else you guys want to throw in news or anything like that? Forever hold your peace for a week. Yeah. Cool. Let's wrap it up. Zeke, do some old shout outs.
Some old shout outs. Well, I got your old shout outs right here. My name is Ezekiel III. You can find me at / Ezekiel _III, just like it looks right there. Thank you, Strippin, for popping in here. Always fun to chat with you, my friend. Cohh JP, also, thank you, as always. 6.5 years we've been doing this, dude. Can't believe you let me stay. Crazy. It's a liability. If you want to check me out, I'll be streaming here. I'm probably going to give myself a little bit of a break. Probably give myself around an hour. Probably start at the top of the next hour with some Death's Door. I'm going to check that out. It's the new
I've heard
new joint from the Titan Souls and Devolver people. So heard some good stuff about it.
Yep.
We're going to be checking that out. And then tomorrow, if I'm still in love with Death's Door by tomorrow, maybe we do that. Maybe we check out Wildermyth, whatever, however the fuck you pronounce it. Maybe we check that out tomorrow. So that's all I've got. I got 2 days or a day and a half as far as plans go. So you're welcome. That's all I got.
Go some shout outs.
Hi everybody. As always, a big thanks to JP and Zeke. Special thanks to Strippin. I appreciate that. You came on today and told us about a game I had never really heard about. It actually looks pretty cool. You have to check that out at some point. I am currently playing Rimworld and Final Fantasy XIV. That's about it. We do have some sponsor stuff coming up this weekend in Path of Exile, and I'm checking out another game called Lemnis Gate, which I don't know if you guys remember. We heard about that one. That was that kind of like first-person timey-wimey competition game thing. Actually looks kind of cool. We're going to check that out too. And on top of that, I think that's about it. We're going to be really pushing through those games I mentioned. And then we have Chernobylite coming up pretty soon too, which I'm very excited to check out. And yeah, on that note, thanks for watching and see you next week if I don't see you in the channel.
Awesome. Strippin. Shout some stuff out.
What's up, guys? I'm Strippin. You can find me at twitch.tv/Strippin every day except Wednesdays. I normally start around 2 Eastern. Tomorrow, I'm going to be checking out the new For Honor patch. There's a new character dropping. And a bunch of
that guy, changes. And I was like, Strippin's going to love this dude.
Yeah, I haven't played For Honor in a couple of months, so I'm excited to check it out. This week, I've been playing some co-op XCOM with Kraken. We're using a program called Parsec, where we screen share, and we kind of take it in turns, and we've got like separate soldiers. So that's been a lot of fun. We'll be doing that tomorrow as well. And yeah, come on by.
Cool.
Thanks for having me, boys. It was good to see you again.
Yeah, thanks so much for coming on. Tell Dodger I'm sorry for taking away date night, but I appreciate you here being
I actually think I got baby bedtime, so you did me a solid.
Okay. All right. Well, once again, I apologize to Dodger. Hopefully she sees this. What are we doing tomorrow? We've got there's like a EA Play thing happening. Cohh, are you going to be around for that or no? I don't know if we ever...
Probably not. Nope.
Okay. All right. I think that's at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll be checking that out. They're going to show some Battlefield 2142 footage and maybe some other stuff. So we'll be streaming that for kind of a JPNN special report. Path of Exile stuff on Friday. We'll be doing sponsored streams for that. We're doing a miniature painting build stream next week, which we'll see how that goes. I'm reluctant to paint on stream.
Let the inner artist out, JP.
Well,
you've done this before, right?
Nope, not. I've done like a statute sponsored stream, but not a. I've never painted. It's hard to say this without saying the brand that I'm going, but it might be in the chat if you've seen it. If you're reading chat.
I've never painted Games Workshop's miniatures.
You didn't bleep that part out. Cohh, you usually bleep it out.
Oh,
what?
My bad. No, for the record, I have no idea. I'm just a total shot in the dark. Anyway.
There you go. Yeah, it got moved from tomorrow to I think it's next Thursday or next Saturday. I think it's up in the air, but we're going to be doing some of that on stream. And then tomorrow at the start of the stream at noon Eastern, we're going to reveal some stuff we've been working on for the channel for about 8 or 9 months. So looking forward to that. We got a bunch of stuff going on. Hopefully we see you guys around here over the next couple of days.
Oh, wait a second. Okay, so the Battlefield 2040. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna want to rewatch that stuff. Are they going to be talking about that new title tomorrow? What do you play? One that they tease, like possibly Dead Space?
I don't know. Maybe. You know, I thought in my mind it only I only equate Battlefield to being shown tomorrow, but I think they're actually supposed to show something about that tomorrow. Now that I remember, they showed some footage of Skate in a real fucking stupid PR video where it's like a bunch of developers talking about Skate, and they're like, "We'd love to show you what we're working on, but we can't." But everyone was really excited about it. It was the stupidest video I've ever seen. It was like a prime EA video of talking about a game that they're working on with not showing a single thing. So, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. That's not going to be there. They also confirmed no Star Wars, no BioWare stuff. So maybe there'll be some of that. The big thing is they're supposed to show the 2142 thing that DICE LA or the
2042. I wish it was 2140.
Right. You're right. Yes, I'm saying that incorrectly. They're supposed to show the like mode that Ripple Effect, which is formerly DICE LA, has been working on, which is like that squad based mode that they've been hyping up. So
cool.
We'll see how it goes. Anyways, that's it for the old drop frames. We'll be back next week, probably with more. We'll see you guys then. Have a good one. We're out of here. Bye-bye.